Stop everything. I've got 3 massive Leicester City stories for you. Listen to this. His class is there. Leicester City. Signing talked up by ex-EFL star. Progress versus reputation. Why Leicester should deploy Harry Winks. And the inside story? Why Leicester's deadline transfer for Hermsenen failed. So stay till the end. I'm passionate about Leicester, and I'll keep everyone up to date with the latest Foxes. News every day. Hit subscribe and join in. Look, let me tell you something straight, Fox. This signing of Jamal Lascelles is starting to feel bigger by the minute. And now, even the so-called experts from the EFL are standing up and saying what we already knew. We have landed a proper defender. Former EFL man Adrian Clark has come out and said, loud and clear, that if he had the choice, he would take Lascelles over Wout Faes, Yannick Vestergaard, and Connor Cody every single day of the week. And honestly, I'm with him. No hesitation, no debate. Give me the lad who's captained a Premier League club, who's been through promotion battles, relegation scraps, and everything in between. This is a bloke who played 253 games for Newcastle. Not friendly, not youth matches. Real football, real pressure, real responsibility. He wore the armband at St. James's Park. You do not get that role. You get that role because you are elite, because teammates trust you, and because you drag standards up. Yes, we all know the concerns. He had a nasty ACL injury. He has not played loads of minutes in the last couple of seasons. But Clark nailed it perfectly. His class is still there for everyone to see. Class does not disappear. It does not vanish because of one bad year. You either have it or you do not, and Lascelles has it. He is only 32. That is not ancient for a center back. That is peak years for a defender who relies on positioning, strength, and reading the game. And let's be honest, we are desperate at the back. We have been shipping goals like it's a charity. We need someone who organizes, shouts, points, demands more. Lascelles does all of that in his. And here is the delicious little detail. He came through Nottingham Forest's system, which means he knows exactly what that badge means. He knows how big this rivalry is. He knows who the proper club in the East Midlands really is. And trust me, Fox, any player who has left that lot behind and pulls on our shirt immediately goes up in my estimate. This move suits him. It suits his family. It suits us. Regular football. A chance to remind everyone why he was once considered one of the best English center halves outside the so-called. While other clubs were messing about, the Foxes moved with purpose. We identified a problem. We solved it. No drama, no circus, just proper football business. So now it is simple. Lascelles has to be thrown straight in. No easing, no betting in period. This defense needs a general, and Jamal Lascelles looks ready to pick up the baton. Here is the big question for you, Fox. Should Jamal Lascelles walk straight into the starting 11 and be made captain, even ahead of longer-serving players? Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. All right, Fox, let's talk about a name that splits the room faster than a dodgy Harry Winks. You felt it at the King Power against Charlton. You heard it. When Winks stepped off the bench for Hamza Choudhury, the stadium basically had an identity crisis. One side clapped, the other side booed. Proper East Midlands chaos. And honestly, I loved it, because it means people still care. Let's not pretend this story started yesterday. Winks had been in exile for 63 days. 63. Frozen out after that nightmare showing against Sheffield United back in November, when Marty Cifuentes hooked him and clearly lost patience. From that moment on, Winks became public enemy number 1 for some. Rumors flying about attitude, whispers about training ground tension. Suddenly, he went from Champions League midfielder to persona non grata at Seagrave. But football does not wait for grudges. Football does not care about bruised egos. Football cares about solutions. And right now, the Foxes are crying out for one in midfield. Look at the injury list. Oliver Skip sidelined, Jordan James unavailable, legs tired, confidence low, structure shaky. In that context, Andy King is staring at a simple but brutal truth. This squad is better with Harry Winks against Charlton. Forget the noise, forget the baggage. Watch what he actually did. He asked for the ball. He showed for it. He calmed things down. He moved it quickly, side to side, forward when possible. No panic, no hiding. That alone already made Leicester look more like a football team again. And let's be honest between us, Fox. Nobody else in this squad progresses the ball like Winks. Nobody. Enzo Maresca once compared his ability on the ball to a Ferrari. You do not make that comparison lightly. You make it because the lad has elite-level technical quality. You make it because he sees passes others simply do not. Is he perfect? No. Has he made mistakes? Absolutely. But show me a midfielder in this squad who has not. Here is the uncomfortable bit some people do not want to hear. Winks is still the most technically gifted midfielder at this club. He is also one of the highest paid players in the entire championship, leaving that profile rotting on the bench while Leicester slide towards mid-table misery makes zero football sense. Andy King knows what Leicester DNA looks like. He lived it, he breathed it, he captained it. And sometimes, leadership is not about being popular. It is about making the hard call. He can listen to the boos, or he can pick the player most capable of controlling matches. For me, this is not about forgiveness. It is not about redemption arcs. It is about survival. If Leicester want to stabilize, control games, and stop playing like a side permanently in panic mode, Harry Winks has to play. Pride has to be swallowed. Noise has to be ignored. Results have to come first. So let me throw this one straight at you, Fox. Should Andy King build the midfield around Harry Winks again? Even if half the fan base cannot stand him, hit that subscribe button. If you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date, you could feel the desperation in the air as deadline day ticked away, Fox. Not the reckless kind, not the panicked kind, but that cold, calculated desperation of a club that knows exactly where it is hurting and exactly what it needs to fix. Leicester went into that final day with one mission: find a proper presence between the posts, a figure who could walk into the dressing room, grab the gloves, and instantly lift a defense that has looked about as solid as a chocolate teapot. And that is where one familiar name came roaring back into the conversation. Mads Hermansen. Yes, that Mads Hermansen, the former Fox, the goalkeeper who once looked destined to be a long-term number one at the King Power. Before football, did what football always does and sent him off to London for a fee of £20 million. The plan from Leicester was simple: bring him back on loan. Low risk, high reward, season-saving potential. This was not paper talk. This was real, proper, high-level conversation. TalkSport's Alex Crook revealed Leicester were bracing for a hectic deadline and had lined up Hermsenen as a priority target. The idea was elegant in its simplicity. Hermsenen is desperate to play. He wants minutes to protect his Denmark World Cup ambition. Leicester desperately need a goalkeeper who commands his box, organizes a defense, and actually gives center backs confidence. So why did it collapse? Because West Ham played the most boring role in football, the stubborn parent club. The Hammers looked at their own situation and decided they were not game. Alphonse Areola, for all his talent, has an error in him. Everyone in the Premier League knows it. West Ham wanted Hermsenen as insurance, and when their attempt to line up a replacement, particularly a move for Tottenham's Antonin Kinski, fell apart, the door slammed shut. No replacement, no loan, no reunion. The Guardian backed this up, reporting West Ham were hesitant to sanction anything without guaranteed cover. From their point of view, keeping Hermsenen sat on the bench was safer than helping Leicester climb out of trouble. Lovely bunch, aren't they? Closer to home, Jordan Blackwell at Leicestershire Live called the whole thing a reflection of Leicester's urgent need for what he described as spine reinforcement, and he is spot on. Goalkeeper, center back, central midfielder, striker. This squad has been crying out for a backbone all season. The brutal truth is this: Leicester did everything they realistically could. They identified the right profile. They found a willing player. They structured a sensible deal, but football politics got in the way. Now the Foxes must ride with Jakub Stolarczyk and hope improvement comes fast. Hope is not a strategy, but sometimes it's all you have left. And let me just say this: if West Ham think hoarding a goalkeeper on the bench is smart squad management, that tells you everything about why they are always flirting with chaos. Proper mid-table mentality. So here's the big one, Fox. Should Leicester go back in for Mads Hermansen in the summer at any cost? Or is it time to completely move on and find a brand new number one? Hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date.